It's game time. The Kid Gowie. Ravens Nation. All we know is purple and black. And if you're not a Ravens fan, welcome to Baltimore, Maryland, M&T Bank Stadium, where opponents don't make it out alive unless we bury them. Every team be afraid of them, especially all the quarterbacks, as our defensive linemen won't hesitate to leave you sacked. Let's take a minute, go back to Super Bowl 35. Domination was an understatement up against the Giants. Numerous touchdowns, they put up numbers, and it didn't take a nutritionist to see they hunger. Only stat Kerry Collins could get was interceptions. He must have thought throwing to the D counted as receptions. The pass was legendary, but don't sleep on the present. Our secondary make quarterbacks avoid their direction. You trying to run the ball, you better hope your blockers work. You can juke, you can spin, but your destination's the turf. This is a man's game, being soft will get you hurt. Watch the defense force a fumble and the fans go berserk. 17 weeks, only one league out of 32 squads. No one's messing with our team. We all bleed black and purple, you can check our IVs. Raven Nation fly high, watch us all spread our wings. Put your game face on, embarrass the competition. You ain't talking about the greatest if the Ravens aren't mentioned. Screw every other team, cause those dudes are whack. In Baltimore, the only thing we know is purple and black. Go! They always win when the championship's on the line. So if you hoping that they failed, then you really wasting your time. Go and ask the 49ers, I'm pretty sure they remember when they made a comeback, but weren't declared the winners. 2 rings down, but you know they won't stop now. If the opposing D's caught slipping, you know exactly how that goes. That's another deep connection for 6 points in the end zone. The stadium goes wacko as Ravens put in work. Pittsburgh Steelers, that still curtain is looking more like a skirt. So tell me who they say is going to beat them Bengals. Who used to be the Browns until they relocated? Ravens, they are one of the greatest. There's simply no denying it. To beat them, bringing your A game's a requirement. With the youth of the team, I bet they still be dominant, even after the greatest linebacker's retirement. 17 weeks, only one league out of 32 squads. No one's messing with our team. We all bleed black and purple, you can check our IVs. Raven Nation fly high, watch us all spread our wings. Put your game face on, embarrass the competition. You ain't talking about the greatest if the Ravens aren't mentioned. Screw every other team, cause those dudes are whack. In Baltimore, the only thing we know is purple and black. Go!
Yo, what's going on, guys? It's here, your boy Sonic. Es la que para mi gente latina. How are you all? I'm here, ready to go. 10 p.m. over here in UK, but it's only 5 over there. So thank you, everybody that is joining. I know my streams are a little bit early. I know I'm still missing the one video that I promised you guys that is coming. But hey, we need to talk about Zeus, right? We need to talk about Zeus. And my thumbnail says the Zeus problem, right? The Zeus problem. Reality is, it's not that we have a Zeus problem. There is some decisions to be made here, and there's not an easy, clear-cut way to figure out which way we do. Now, I will say this. I've been doing a couple hot takes lately, and I receive a lot of flack for it, and I'm okay. You know what? I don't care. To be honest, if you follow me, if you follow this channel, it's because you know I'm not here to repeat nobody. I'm not here to just, say the same things that others. I said that I don't know. We have a Lamar problem in coming up with paying him, and this is also true for the Cleveland Browns. And this is also true for the Buffalo Bills. All three of these teams have a problem. Now I'll focus here for the Ravens, so I'll give you the Ravens perspective. Okay. I also said, I think 3 weeks to 4 weeks ago, that we needed to trade Orlando Brown Jr. People got all in their feelings. People were like, oh no, why? How are we going to trade him? Why, Sonny? I love him. I love the dude, by the way. I think he's a great player. I love his personality. I love if we could keep him in Baltimore. But I said 3 weeks ago, about 4 weeks ago, I had him Ravens. So whatever the last time Ray was here, the week before, I said it when Ray was here. I said to him, like, hey, I'm going to say something. I know, some people might not like this, but Orlando Brown Jr., should we trade him? I think we should. And again, people got into their feelings. Again, if you follow me, it's not because I'm going to sugarcoat anything. But let's talk about this. I forgot to bring this up. Hold on. This is important. This is important stuff. Look, Orlando Brown Jr., the reason that he tweeted out, I'm a left tackle, people are like, oh, it's because he wants to play left tackle. Yes, he is a left tackle. He wants to play left tackle. He knows that left tackles get paid more than right tackles. It is as simple. So if you are a tackle and you can play both, wouldn't you want to be considered left tackle so you can get more? Meaning, Lane Johnson, right, from the Eagles, he really was not a left tackle. So he became a right tackle, hell of a right tackle. He gets paid like left tackle money. Like if you check, he's up there. Okay. Orlando Brown knows that even though if he doesn't even play as good as Lane Johnson, but he can protect the blind side, boom, it's still paid. Now, so something that I do want to say, I don't blame no player for trying to get their money. None. I think Lamar should get every single penny they want. I think Orlando Brown should get it, Judine, and all these. And when I proposed that we needed to trade Orlando Brown Jr., my thing, or a lot of people saying, no, he wants to stay, he's going to get a hometown discount. People, you need to just open your eyes. Will you give a hometown discount to your boss? Literally, if your boss comes tomorrow to you and says, you know what? You didn't pay $50K. I know that a company over there might offer you 60, but we're boys. Maybe in the future, 50. The problem is, in the future for you, which let's assume this is for your work, your production will just go down, right? Because Orlando Brown Jr., as he gets older, eventually it's all for all NFL players, it's not for him. Their production will go down. So this is his big contract. This is probably his biggest contract. So why would he take a pay cut? Why would he take a hometown discount? Again, things that I don't understand why people that follow this channel and people that follow other channels think Orlando Brown should take a discount. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I don't think nobody in their right mind would say, yo, let me take a discount. I'll take a discount to stay here. That other company might offer me a couple K more, 10K, 20K more. But you know what? I'll stay here. Even though with time my production will go down and I can never recoup that 20,000, I'll stay here. Don't matter, right? No, their NFL careers are short. And the reality is, this is my assumption, EDC is probably trying to see who can he extend. And he went to Orlando Brown Jr. and say, hey, let's start kicking the tires here. And they probably offer him top 10 right tackle money. I'm just assuming. Orlando Brown Jr. said, like, hold up. I just play left tackle. I want left tackle money. I don't care if I play right tackle. I want left tackle money. Oh, but you play right tackle then. I don't want to play right tackle no more. I want to play left tackle, but I just pay a big left tackle over there. That sounds like a you problem, right? Ravens. That sounds like a you problem. Now, Ravens have been drafting well. And by well, Aussie News has been drafting well. Again, I have 2 videos coming up. I think EDC is a little bit overrated. Again, another hot take. I know people are going to hate this. I think EDC is a little bit overrated. I think EDC has been okay as a GM. Not horrible, not great. But if you think about how this Baltimore Ravens team is right now, it's been more about Aussie's hits. I know people love to criticize Aussie at the end of his career. Aussie hitting the right players more than EDC swinging and missing. And obviously the wide receiver, it doesn't matter. Neither of these two were able to get their wide receiver straight. Okay. Going back to Orlando Brown Jr. Look, Orlando Brown Jr. Let me see if I can pull, for whatever it's worth, the PFF grade. Okay, so let's see what grades PFF, Almighty PFF has here for left tackle. Why will you make it difficult, PFF? I want NFLs. I want players' grades. Yes, that's what I want. Sure. You're making it difficult. That's why I hate you and I try to avoid you. Oh, okay. Let me go Ravens. Roster. And remember Orlando Brown Jr. There he is. Orlando Brown. He is ranked 24 out of 80 tackles. Not bad. 77 grade in last year, 73 for them the year before, 68 his rookie year. Progressing, learning. Play left tackle and right tackle, right? So he showed versatility. Okay. So obviously PFS has him pretty well ranked. Now, let's talk about Orlando Brown Jr. 3 years in the league, 2 Pro Bowl selection. And you're like, yeah, Pro Bowl is a popularity contest. Not necessarily for tackles. For the rest of the positions, yeah. For tackles and O-line, yeah, people don't tend to vote much. If they vote for their local O-line. So this is the players that swing this position for the most part. So obviously his peers and coaches think that he is a Pro Bowl caliber the past 2 years. Oh, wait, before I forget. If you want to be in the show, that looks ugly. If you want to be in the show, please text 443-292-2337. It's 443-292-2337. Okay. So 2 years, they think he's a caliber left tackle or right tackle or just a tackle. I think he's a great tackle. Is he a top 10 tackle in the league? Borderline, but I think so. But the reality is, in the past 3 years, he went to the Pro Bowl twice. Why do I bring this? Larry Tunsil, he's been in the league 5 years. How many Pro Bowl selections do y'all think he has? He plays at left guard the first year, left tackle the rest of the 3 years, last year our tackle. Also, always missed game. He does not have a full season. 14 games, 15 games, 15 games, 14 games, 14 games. Very minimal games limits, but whatever. It is some games missed here and there. Orlando Brown Jr. 0 games missed. I know he didn't start right away in the first year. Okay, now, tell me, how many Pro Bowls you think Laremy Tunsil has in the 5-year career that he has so far? In the meantime, I'm reading some of these comments. Aussie drafted Ogden, Ray, enough said. Don't forget Suggs. Yeah, Suggs as well. I just like how aggressive EDC is. I fought Billick for bowler. EDC, at least when he swings, he misses. He goes all in and isn't afraid. Okay. Yes, I like his aggressiveness, but let's say for those of you that love baseball, right? Well, I'm just leaving a little bit of time here to see if anybody else wants to comment. For those of you that love baseball, you know who has a very aggressive swing sometimes and sometimes he doesn't? Chris Davis. Swings and misses a lot. Well, I don't mind that he swings, but he needs to start connecting better because draft capital was shortened as he trades, right? And if he doesn't hit on the picks, Oh shit, now we have no depth. Oh shit, we had nobody. Now we have to go to free agency and overpay. Anytime you dip your toe in free agency, boom, you have to pay more. You have to pay more. Okay? Okay, so I see just two people. Oh no, wait. Bruno says one, Asana says two, Lex Kenneth says one, Terrence says zero. Ah, ding ding ding. Winner here on Asana two, maybe. Yes, it's two. He's young, by the way. Larry Thompson's young. 20 and last year and this year, both with Houston. He was selected as a Pro Bowl. So when Miami had no Pro Bowls when he got traded. Why am I bringing all this shit up? You're Sonny. Why? Okay, because Larry Tunsil and my receiver Kenny Still, that doesn't matter. They got a 4th round and a 6th round from the Dolphins. I'm sorry, they traded Tunsil, Stills, in a 4th round last year. Yeah, and a 6th round this year to the Dolphins. In exchange, Miami sends 2 first round in 2020 and 2021, and a 2nd round 2021 this year. So the Dolphins this year has 2 first, 2 seconds. The Texans sucked because the Texans do love to suck. So now it's a very early first and a very early second, and the Dolphins seem to be doing it right. So do I think we can get this for Orlando Brown Jr. now? I think Tunsil was a little bit better than Orlando Brown Jr. I don't know why he doesn't have the Pro Bowls, but for whatever it takes, Orlando has and Tunsil doesn't, right? So, but what we could get, in my opinion, is at least a 1st and a 3rd. I know some people have been saying, Sonny, let's get a receiver with that. And I said, sure, let's trade Orlando Brown Jr. for picks, and then we can work on the receiver. So let's talk about some of the teams that can be interested in a left tackle potentially. Hold on. I want to go by the order here. The Dolphins definitely is one, right? So Jacksonville ain't gonna trade this year's 1st round pick, but maybe next year's 1st round pick. Maybe you can say, hey, here's a left tackle, and you can just go and I'll take next year's 1st, and I'll take this year's 2nd. That's a possibility. The Jets, they just got Beckham, so let's not push it with the Jets. Miami needs also O-line help. Will they third overall? Well, that will be spectacular. Because let's say Miami says, you know what, I'll give you my 3rd overall and whatever they are on the 2nd round, they're 20-something, right? 18, 32, 40. Let's say they just say, I'll give you the 3rd overall and the 40 or in the 3rd round pick. Well, now I know how people are like, oh, let's get a wide receiver, that 3rd overall pick. Yes. Well, I will say 2 things. We can either say 3rd overall, somebody wants a quarterback, I'll take 2 more 1st round pick. Thank you very much. Drop a little bit more. Also sell well the tackle. I know people are loving him for the left tackle. We'll put him in the right tackle. We don't have to pay him much for 5 years, right? And then at that point, if Stanley's getting older, Stanley's getting injured, we don't know, then we can left tackle, Stanley gets up the books. It's a possibility. Atlanta's O-line has been a mess. Now the question is, are they moving from Matty Ice? I'm not sure. Cincinnati, I don't think we traded to him. Although Cincinnati needs that to fix that O-line. Philadelphia needs a left tackle. Detroit needs a left tackle. Carolina, I'm not sure. Denver needs a left tackle desperately. The question is, will we be able to trade Denver 9th? A 1st and a 2nd, a 1st and a 3rd? Yes, I think that's great. Dallas, their left tackle hasn't been able to play for 2 years. Dallas, that will be a great trade for Dallas. Again, a 1st and a 2nd, I'll take it. New York Giants, the kid that they drafted was absolutely trash. I was watching that draft and I was like, why? Of all the tackles, why you got him with 3rd overall? whatever. But let's say that kid is better in the right tackle position. You slide Orlando to the left tackle and you put this guy in the right tackle position. San Francisco should be good, although the left tackle is a little older. The Chargers, they need tackle help. Will they be able to trade that first round? This is one of the few that I can say, look, I think a good trade could be the 13 overall, Mike Williams, or the first overall, right? The 13 overall pick, but their first round pick, Mike Williams, and a fourth for Zeus, and a fifth or a sixth is what I think is a good trade with the Chargers. Minnesota always have O-line problems. Similar to the Chargers, I can take their first round pick and a fourth or a fifth, probably like a fourth. We can send them a sixth and Orlando Brown Jr., and they will also add Thielen. They need cap relief. I think the Thielen will be great. I agree, Living. I agree. It was already said that the Texans were asking too much. And so, yes, it's smooth, but not because you said it is. What? Be more Raven, can you explain? I couldn't understand. Oh, wait. I see. It's a conversation between you and Andrew. Okay, I'm not going to get into that. Arizona, they need a tackle. Vegas, they're solid in the tackle positions. I get Miami. Look, and you can even say to Miami, look, keep your third overall. Keep it. I'll take that 18 and hold on. I only had the first round pick, and I want to give you guys accurate trade possibilities, right? And I don't think it's fair if I just making stuff up. Okay, so let's say Miami's like, oh shit, but I want to keep the third overall. You can say, you know what, Miami, go, take your third overall. My God, so many ads in this website. And then close. I don't need to see that. And then Miami should have the 36 and the fourth pick in the second round. So you can say to Miami, yo, okay, for Orlando Brown Jr., I'll take a first and a second and a fifth. First and a second and a fifth. Still cheaper than what they got from for their guy, right? So I'm gonna take your first, not the third overall. I'm gonna let you keep that one. I'll take the first overall. I'm sorry, their first round pick, that is Miami, not Houston. Then I'll take Houston's second round pick, right? So that's two picks, the 18th overall, the 36th overall, and we have the 27 overall. That is a good three-piece there, right? And then you can still probably get a fourth round pick on top of that, right? Let me see who else. Let me see here. I don't want to. So we said Miami, Washington, another team that needs a tackle. I don't know their draft capital, how it is, but look, the Bears need a tackle. The problem with the Bears in Washington is, why would you get a left tackle if you don't have the quarterback? If you have the quarterback, yes. Indianapolis solid. Tennessee should be fine. The Jets, no. Pittsburgh needs a left tackle. You ain't trading Orlando Brown over there. Yeah, Jacksonville, again, they had 2 first-round picks. So the same applies with with Jacksonville, right? I forgot that they had the second first-round pick, but you can say, yo, first overall, you keep Lawrence, but you need somebody to protect this blind side. Here's Orlando Brown Jr. I'll take that 25th, but I also would take the 33rd. So I'll take the 25th, I'll take the 33rd, and then I'll take like a 4th or 5th round pick on top of that. Boom. Done, seal it. Yo, now you had 2 first-round picks. By the way, again, I see somebody was texting. Sorry about that. 443-292-2337 is 443-292-2337 if you want to be in the show. Okay. Who else we're missing here? We're missing Cleveland, Baltimore, New Orleans, Green Bay, Buffalo, Tampa. All those are good, right? So you have potential. Also, all these teams can say, Orlando, I'm going to pay you a lot of money, but in the first year, I want to keep that cap hit small because remember this year the cap might dip a little. You can say here's a boatload of money, your cap hit will still stay small, and the following years we're gonna just increase your cap, and it's fine because you're a left tackle, you're the left tackle of the future. We're talking about a guy that is 24, I think it is. In the case of Orlando right here. Let me see. Again, I don't want to, 24, gotta be 25. So, yes, guys, I think trading has been always the best option. The question is, what else against who you're gonna trade, right? You should be having all the leverage. There's a bunch of quarterbacks that want to be traded right now, but not that many tackles and not that many young tackles on their moving to their peak. Maybe he hasn't hit the prime. Maybe he's going to hit the prime. This is what we need. Okay, so let me see some of these comments here. Miami 18th and 50th is more reasonable than 3rd and 36. I don't think Miami gets up a 3rd and 36. No, what I said was 18 and then the 30. Oh, I see. The 18 and the 36, yes. And then I figure a 5th or 6th round pick on top of that. Again, think about how much Tunsil got. 2 first rounds and a 2nd round, right? And then they had to send a 4th and a 6th, but that's okay. But again, that's my point. You're asking for a 1st and a 2nd. And that should be fine. That should be fine. So again, let me go through here. Bruno, I have you on call. I'm calling you very soon. Atlanta and a dead cap split for Julio. Yeah, I'm not sure about that one. You see, the problem that I have with Mr. Julio Jones, I love him as a receiver. Julio Jones is all about the money, so don't be asking him to take pay cuts. That's not him. That he has not taken a cent off. Even when he had like 2 or 3 years left and he came out from being the top receiver, he complained like, "Yo, I'm still a top receiver. I don't have 3 years deal. I want to bump him." No. So Julio Jones in the past couple of years, or last year, he didn't play all season. Before that, he played for the most part. So the problem is with Julio against cap situation. He's 31. If he wants top money, as he's gonna start declining, I don't know if he's gonna be unnecessarily fit. And look, every time I criticize receiver, like, oh, but he will be the best receiver in our team. Well, yes, fuck, a lot of the receiver will be the best receiver in this team. But it's also the longevity, right? If Julio can give me 2 good years and then I just handicap my cap room and then my offense can be a slightly better, let's say that we can go from a top 10 offense to a top 5 offense, but now my defense go from a top 5 defense to a top 15 defense. It ain't worth it because you're not going to win more games. You're not. So let me see here some of the other comments. A Hunter, yes, he is an unrestricted free agent, but he just came from being tagged. Let me see. He will be a good tight end for us, but I think he is looking for this. Now the problem with Hunter Henry is, but last year he played most of the year, is health, right? I think we need a good solid tight end. We can't go into the season with 2 tight ends. That was BS from the coaching staff. Okay, I'm gonna start opening the phone calls here. Okay. There you go. I was like, I can't hear nothing. Remember, guys, if you want to be in the show, 443-292-2337. And when I call you, please mute the stream. Bruno, what up, bro?
What's going on, Sonny? Is my audio a little better?
No. It sounds great.
Okay, good. Yeah.
So you call. What do you want to say? I'm assuming about Orlando Brown Jr. But if not,
about Orlando Brown, well, I don't really see a trade happening this year, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
I think there's better opportunities this year, to scheme up a trade. And I know EDC does. He's been mentioning that he likes his picks, but I really don't see a trade happening, honestly.
Hold on, because for some reason I had a. So you don't see a trade coming this year?
Nah, I think it's a little more likely next year. Even though a tag and trade probably will decrease his value, I don't think it's happening this year.
Okay, so I'm not gonna lie, that will piss me off because the reason why I said like a month ago we should trade Orlando Brown Jr. was because of that. Because this year his cap number is small, so that is also enticing for a team. If you leave it for next year, now you're tagged. While you're looking for this trade, you can't sign free agent, because if you don't have any trade, then he's like, okay, well, I'll take that 20-something million dollars, right? Second, next year, think about this. You're looking for what you call Mandrews is a free agent, right? And then Lamar is in his 4th year. So all those things stack up. So you have to be careful with if you're not gonna trade him here, you risk of losing him with no compensation, only a 3rd round compensation, and that's not smart.
Yeah.
But anyway, you wanted to talk about something else then.
Oh yeah, I want to talk a little bit about the draft because I've been doing some research on a lot of players.
Okay.
I want to see who you're starting to look at. Receivers, what positions?
Okay, so the first guy that I start to look at, because I found this guy that has a lot of what you call that, the coach's tape, and that's usually what I would prefer. And I actually have it here. I had it open before the stream. Rashad Bateman. Dude looks impressive.
Bateman?
Yes. One of the things that I've been liking from Bateman so far is he seems strong, although sometimes on the line, I would like cleaner release. And I'll be making videos of this. I would like cleaner release for him. But very strong. But oh my God, one of my favorite assets. And if you guys follow me from the Joe Nuvo channel, one of my favorite things is you catch the ball with the hands and don't let it come to the body. Also, the tape that I've been watching so far, he catches the ball with the hands. He has great hands. And once he has the ball, he also looks to make plays. I like that a lot for him. So far, that's been what I've been concentrating, because I wanted to make a video about him. And then, so I've been concentrating on receivers, right? That's my first score will be receivers. And then my second will be outside linebackers. And then the third will be centers and inside O linemen. Those will be my 3-tier. Usually what I do is I get people sending me like, hey, can you check this? Can you check this player? DM me, please. And then at that point, I put like a list, and then I start making videos of what people prefer.
Yeah.
But
I really like Bateman.
Okay?
He's probably, I haven't really looked at the receivers, but Bateman really popped out to me. I think, like Justin Jefferson last year, I really liked him. I think they are kind of comparable.
Okay.
Based off their, that elite speed, but their route running is good. They have strong hands. I think Bateman probably will end up going, before 27.
He will.
But if he falls, I think we should just jump on that one.
He will be, and this is another thing. If you trade Orlando Brown Jr., now you have a little bit of assets, and you can maybe trade up to the 20, to the 18, right? And get a guy like Bateman if that is the favorite receiver from the scouts. So far, he is my favorite receiver. But yeah, now you can trade up and get him.
Yep.
That is
another player.
Go ahead.
Kadarius Toney. I've been starting to, like his game. I think at first he was a little small for my liking, but he just has this explosion, breaks tackles. I really like Kadarius Toney's game.
He's from what school?
He's from the Gators. He's from Florida.
Oh, Florida. Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah. So I was watching this kid, and Tony talked to me about him. From it was in Western Michigan. I'm blanking, but in the Senior Bowl he was killing it. But he's 5'9", maybe a buck 40, a buck 50. I don't know. He looks thin. And I used to, like I said to Tony, I used to love this guy named Andy Isabella. He has done nothing because he was too small in the league. This dude looks fast. This dude looks good. I don't think the Ravens should draft him, by the way, because that's all we have: smaller, not very strong receivers. But I can see that kid being special.
Tony?
No. Tony talked to me about him, and then I watched the Senior Bowl. I'm blanking on this dude's name.
Maybe Dwayne Eskridge.
Yes, that guy. Yes, thank you.
Dwayne Eskridge, okay.
Yeah. Is it in Western Michigan? No?
Yeah, that's him.
Okay. Yeah, so I watched him in the Senior Bowl. I watched the practice from the Senior Bowl. Then I went and watched the Senior Bowl itself. Dude looks good, man. He does. I mean, in all the practice, he was killing those wide receivers. But again, he's a smaller frame, shorter dude. I think he might be good in the NFL. I don't know if that's actually, I don't want them to draft him because he probably will go in the first round. I don't think that essentially he is another version of Hollywood Brown. So, so Tough Puppy over here says, I'm a Florida fan, so I will not mind Tooney. Okay. Any other players you have in mind?
Oh yeah, I've been right now. I've been really doing outside linebackers.
Okay.
When you get a chance at outside linebackers, go check out Jalen Phillips out of Miami. He's by far my outside linebacker at the end.
Okay, so Phillips out of Miami.
Yep, Phillips out of Miami.
Okay.
I'm not really on the roof, though, on his. I think he's super overrated. I don't even think he should be a first round pick. I think he should be late second I don't think he should be a first round pick.
Yeah, I haven't scouted him, but for the little I've seen for him, I agree with your assessment. He seems overrated. I think he's gonna be a guy that is gonna be like, oh my God, he fell out of the first round. Look, a guy that a lot of you guys love, right? And last year, and I was not a fan. It was Weaver. I forgot his first name, from Boise State. He got drafted in the third, fourth, fifth round, somewhere there. He got cut. He didn't make the team. He got cut. And I'm assuming, in somebody's practice squad. They never liked him. So a guy that I thought it was going to be better, but he was kind of limited, although he won with strength in college, was Rashad Gary. He has not paid out. This kid from Miami looks to me, I don't know, similar to what our guy, Fergie, he figured out how to beat them with the same type of maneuvers, and then he just exploited that maneuver over and over again. That ain't going to work in the NFL. I think he should be, again, without a deep dive scout, a third round pickish.
Who, Russo?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I don't really like him. But I honestly hope someone jumps on him in the first, so then some of the better ones slide onto us.
Yeah, I'm hoping that too.
Yep.
Any others?
I like Quincy Roche out of Miami. Both Quincy Roche, Jalen Phillips out of Miami. I like them a lot better than him. So I think Quincy Roche in the third would be a good pickup.
Okay.
Yeah, a good senior bowl.
So you're liking the Miami kids?
Yeah, I do.
Are you from Florida?
No.
I'm joking. But yeah, I need to, man. I need to. So if you can, because obviously I'm in the middle of live stream, DM me. I don't know if you follow me on Twitter or Facebook or on IG, wherever you follow me, just DM me like, hey, check this out. So then I remember. Okay?
Yeah, okay.
Okay, bro.
All right.
Anything else?
You have a good one.
Oh, you too, bro. Take care. By the way, I agree here with electric Tyrone. I don't know if wide receivers priority one. I think a tight end can get it done too. I think to be honest, if you say, Sonny, what is your biggest need we have? It's edge, then receiver, and maybe interior O line third. Hello. Hello.
Hello?
Yes.
Greetings.
How you doing, man?
I'm doing fine.
So you call? You want to talk about Zeus? You want to talk about draft? You want to talk free agency?
I want to start with Zeus. Now, when it comes to trading him, I don't mind. Question is, who do we trade him to? Like, who's going to be the right bidder? Like, what are teams willing to offer? If it's a second round, okay. Third round and a player, depends on what player.
Yeah, I think those are too low. You need to start with me with a first round pick, unless you're going to give me a Pro Bowler. Left tackles are in high demand. Left tackle.
True, but I don't think no one's not willing to give up. I don't think unless a team is really, really desperate to give up a first rounder, I don't see it. I think at best they'll either give you a early second rounder at best.
So this is the thing. Right now, think about this. How many good left tackle free agents are going to be this year? There's none.
Not many.
There's none. There's literally none. Bowles from Denver, and he's a holding machine. So not many, right? Okay. So then your second question is, can I draft one? Right? Well, Sowell is the top tackle, and there's a kid from North. I forgot where he's in the top 10. And then after that's a big drop off, right? So even Sowell is, everybody loves him, and the second guy is like maybe. So you don't have that either. So if you think, okay, I have the quarterback, right? I have my young quarterback. I have enough receivers. My defense is okay. The next thing I do is protect the quarterback. That is huge, because if not, I can put whoever over there on the outside. If I have no time, it doesn't matter. So, the Ravens have a young left tackle, Pro Bowl left tackle. They're gonna shop him. Let me go get him, right? So that is the thing. That is how the trade will create it. So look at right now the Stafford trade, the Lions. They had a quarterback that they didn't believe in, right? They figured if we have another quarterback, we maybe win it all. So they went and gave up 2 first-round picks for an older quarterback, right?
Fair enough, but I kind of feel that's more of a desperation move, because the Rams are in win now mode. Like, you better hope you get to a Super Bowl or to an NFC Championship, because if you don't, that's going to be a failure.
I agree. I'm not disputing that. But with an O-lineman, you don't need necessarily to get to the Super Bowl. For example, Joe Burrow for Cincinnati. I'm not saying we're going to trade Zeus to Cincinnati, but Joe Burrow to Cincinnati. They're not close to sniffing a Super Bowl. But if you don't protect Joe Burrow in the next 3 or 4 years, he's not going to be the same player, and you're going to need to go get another quarterback. O-lines are, if you have your quarterback, O-lines are critical, especially if your quarterback, any type of quarterback. If you have the quarterback that you believe is more than a year there for, then you need to protect them. So if you have your quarterback, let's say Miami, let's say Jacksonville is going to draft Lawrence, Cincinnati, Dallas, I don't know what they're going to do, but obviously their left tackle has been missing the last 2 years. The Washington football team, all these teams need a left tackle. Well, the W team doesn't have a quarterback, but the rest of the ones that I told you, they do have a quarterback, and they need the left tackle if they want to be successful.
Fair enough. I see what you're saying.
See, there are other positions, for example, for receiver, you're like, okay, I'm a receiver away for winning a Super Bowl, right? But if you're not a receiver away for a Super Bowl, it doesn't make sense for you to get a top-line receiver and give up a bunch of assets, right? It doesn't.
Yep.
But in the left tackle or in the rest of the line, It's not necessarily about getting to the Super Bowl, but if you had that young quarterback, look, Burrow was out for the whole year mid-season because that O-line kept he was getting shellacked throughout the season. And that
Yeah,
changes your quarterback tendency. Now your quarterback is desperate. He starts seeing ghosts. He throws the ball too quick because he's anticipating a hit, even if the hit's not there. So that is the thing, right? That is big. That is why a left tackle is important to anybody's team, right? A right tackle too, O-line in general, but a left tackle is super hard to find in this NFL.
true. Well, we just have to see what team is willing to give up a first round for him.
Yep. Anything else?
I retains to free agency.
Okay.
We talk about receiver and all of that. I'll get to that, and also tight end. Get to that too. But another position, most people probably don't agree with me. You probably won't agree with me is I'm looking at free safety. Like, okay, I get it. Elliott, he did a good job. Which, let's be honest, it's hard to step in for Earl Thomas and do what he did. He did a good job, but in my personal opinion, I think we should put someone like Deshaun Elliott, maybe at strong safety because he has the size and height for it. And I think we should put Clark in Anthony Levine role, the hybrid linebacker slash safety, or we put Deshaun Elliott in Anthony Levine's place because Anthony Levine, he's probably gone. So I think it makes sense to put Elliott or Clark in that spot. And then I'm looking at free safety. A guy I kind of have, two guys I have interest in is Malik Hooker. Like, he's a good quality player, and he is very good in zone, and we kind of need that field zone safety. I feel like he'll do pretty good. The other one is, let me think, the guy from the New York Jets, Marcus Mace. He's also a good safety as well.
Okay. Yeah,
And
so I'm not going to disagree with you. We need a better free safety.
Yeah.
But the problem is we have a lot of investment already in the corner or in the secondary. I don't see this team investing anymore. They can do it in the draft. Veteran, on the heap, that young safeties, free safety,
Okay,
true free safety.
hold
Go
up. Like, wait. But here's the thing about Malik Hooker. Malik Hooker will probably be will be a lot cheaper because of his injury history, and maybe we can get him on a 1-year prove-it deal, which I think that would help.
So in the case of Malik Hooker, because I remember him at Ohio State coming with a lot of promise. I haven't followed him enough to tell you how good or bad he has played. But let's say he has been good when he plays, but bad, but by injury riddle. Then in theory, you can say to Malik Hooker, like, yo, look, we have a hell of a secondary, a free safety. You're gonna show up, you're gonna excel. If you're willing to sign for a 1-year vet minimal, or very close to minimal, then you have the possibility of getting paid the following year. That's a possibility. But again, right now, your money is gonna. I think Harbaugh is content with Deshaun Elliott. Obviously, they like Clark. So they need tight ends. They need if any money has to be invested in defenses in the outside backer position, in the offense, tight end, receivers, and potentially interior O line.
True. Yeah, personally, I agree. But personally, I think Elliott would excel in the Anthony Levine role, hybrid linebacker slash safety. I think he will excel. But I understand.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when it comes to tight ends and free agency, like the only tight end I can see, I kind of want to get is that tight end from the Titans, Jonnu Smith, or the other option is the Eagles said they are planning on moving on from Zach Ertz, trying to trade him.
Mm-hmm.
If he doesn't get traded and released, do you think we can get him on a cheap deal?
Yeah, so Zach Ertz will be probably a 4th-ish round pick. And his cap hit is not super crazy, and he's on the older side. He can block, he can catch. I think he's the type of tight end that Lamar will like. So I think that is a good trade/investment.
Also, now when it comes to receivers at free agency, let's be honest, every Ravens fan is on their knees begging for Robinson to come here.
Yeah.
It's like,
It
do
will
we have to
cost
get
you.
a statue?
Well, what's gonna happen is he is gonna cost you whatever the top receiver makes in the league. He's gonna be needing.
And that's the problem. That's the problem. Like, he's going to cost a lot of money, and we got to fix other positions. I understand Lamar needs a receiver, but are you willing to give up that much?
Yeah, I don't know. Again, I said this the other day that I would prefer to have a second-tier receiver and another good tight end and go with that.
I do agree. I feel like maybe Corey Davis, he'd be a lot more cheaper. Because I do feel like maybe we get tier two wide receivers, which is like a better which is like more cheaper than getting just one wide receiver and another tight end. And I think that'd be good enough. Like I understand that the passing offense needs to get better, but does it need to be that? It doesn't need to get. If we can be like somewhere between 15 or 12 in passing, along with having a top 5 running game, that's good enough to win a Super Bowl or get to the AFC Championship. I feel like Ravens fans are so obsessed seeing the Chiefs with all them weapons. They want to copy something like that. And it's like, it's impossible. You can't copy what they're doing.
Yeah, nobody really can right now.
Nobody. But everybody wants that.
Well, I'm going to let you go because I have 2 more callers. Thank you for calling, bro.
Fair enough.
Take care, man.
You too.
Let me take this out.
Please leave your message for.
Okay, so let me go with the next one. Hello?
Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey, hold on, bro. Can you hear me now?
Yes. Garnett?
All right, perfect, man. Yeah, man, how you been?
I've been good, man. Haven't talked to you in a minute. How you been? We chatted the
Man,
other day.
Busy. But other than that, man, everything is going smooth.
How's the weather over there in North Carolina? Yeah, that's where you are,
Cold.
right?
Well, man, it doesn't want to make up its mind. Either it's going to be cold one day or it's going to be hot one day. Or not even hot, just normal, I guess.
Yeah, don't talk to me about cold, bro. Over here in the United Kingdom, it's cold as F.
Sounds about right.
Man. Whew. I don't like it. Anyway, you wanted to talk about what? Because I've been talking about Zeus. I've been talking about free agency. I've been all over the place. My guy's here. So what do you want to talk about, Garnett? Because I know you always bring good topics.
Yeah, so I really clearly just jumped in on the back end of the chat to take care of stuff, but since we're covering everything from top to bottom, best thing we can start off with right now is, to be honest with you, is who's signing and who's going, and that's the main thing. Really, a lot of people are. I'm all on the Yannick and Bowser train. I know everybody's gonna say, or everybody has an idea of, we invested all our money on the defensive ball, which is correct. Mm-hmm. But at the same time, though, it's the issue that I have with people that like, Yannick didn't get a sack, Yannick didn't do this, or Tyus Bowser, he is can do it all, just a perfect Sam outside linebacker, which it is. But at the same time, though, how I look at it, bro, is I'd rather have 2 proven commodities. If I'll shoot them a deal like, hey man, we want to keep you guys. If you don't want to take it, hey, I'm sorry, that's all we can afford right now. But they better sure hope as hell try to keep those 2 guys, man. What's your opinion on that?
So, a couple of things. I think Bowser would be easier. He's gonna be cheaper of all. The problem with Yannick is a marginal Pro Bowler, right? He has been in the Pro Bowl before. And to be honest, he will have to want to stay in Baltimore because Baltimore probably cannot pay him as much as somebody out there. And second, even if he wants to do well, let me do a 1 year prove me. Ain't gonna do it in Baltimore because if he doesn't get big offer, it's gonna be because this defense didn't suit my best needs to producing sacks. And at the end of the day, that's how you get paid with the sacks. So saying that, then he will have to look for another team that even if he gives them a cheaper deal and a 1 year deal, so he can get paid in the back end, right? So saying all this, would I want them to keep them? Sure. I mean, I remember we go back for like a year and a half talking about this, and I said like, Calais Campbell's the guy that I want, and I think Calais Campbell played well when he played. Right, he was injured for a portion of the season. And I remember you and others saying, "Oh, Yannick." My fear with Yannick was always how good of a fit is he in this defense. I think as the year went on, you can definitely see him getting more comfortable playing the outside linebacker role because it is different from the position that he was playing both in Minnesota and Jacksonville. But it's all about how much money he wants. If he wants 10 per year, and we can say, well, here it is, 330, right? I think that's a good deal. If he's looking for 16-ish, 15, 16, then nah, because he didn't produce 15, 16 in my book. Maybe in another defense he might, but not necessarily in Baltimore.
Yeah. With that being said, I'm on the opposite reverse when it comes with the opposite side when people say, you know, Yannick or Bowser would be cheaper than Yannick. I do not believe that whatsoever. In my opinion, the reason why I say that is because if you was to put here's the thing, this was is crazy. So when the whole Zadarius Smith, right?
Mm-hmm.
We were like a lot of people were like, yeah, man, I can't believe like people at the time before they realized what he was capable of doing, being a full-time starter. Hint. Nobody knew if he could produce double-digit sacks, but every year he climbed up in the sack order.
Yep.
Now, no offense to Judon. I love Judon. Judon is a full, complete player, right? How many times have you seen Judon? You know, Judon has been good in coverage. But how many times have you seen Judon with an interception?
Not many.
Zero. Like zero. He never had an interception.
Okay.
Like I'm not going off of statistics of just interception and all that. But I'm just saying, like Bowser was the best graded pass coverage outside linebacker come out of college.
I agree.
We finally unlocked his potential this year. Like Asley, hey, you know what? We know you can't get to the quarterback all the time, but you get a good amount of pressure. But we know your specialty is there. My fear is, which I was listening to another podcast, and he was thinking the same thing. If we don't offer the book to Bowser is going to go somewhere and flourish just like Zadarius did.
I agree.
And that's the thing about it, man. Like I said, I would like to keep both. They're both 25 years old. It's so hard. I'm not even going to call him Sack Daddy anymore. I'm just going to call him Ferguson. Mr. Ferguson has not produced sacks. I mean, for some reason, we all think that we can just produce, you know, edge rushers, but we've been striking cold for a long time, man. That's the thing, man. But my old pecking order, man, figure out if we can get either one or two, you know, Bowser or Yannick. If we keep both, that's cool. Move on from there, bro. I would just rather just go from there to the offense.
I think for me, my priority is Bowser because Bowser can do a lot more in this defense than Yannick.
Right. Yeah, man. But I'd rather either go center, or if not, if you want to make a big boy move and trade up in the top 15-ish, maybe, because that's where usually the home, you know, the big time talent is with the receivers. I'm not saying top 10 because that's just too much cap, you know, unless we're trying to trade somebody in that discussion. But find a way to get in the top 15 somehow so we can claim a receiver. But if you're not going to do that, just go ahead and get a center, man. You know, I made this reference on Twitter so many times. Lamar Jackson is the Bugatti, man. The best way to, you know, protect your Bugatti, you get premium insurance. Premium insurance is either you get a center and then make sure we get the right guard. It's funny how I said the right guard, but the right guard.
So for me, let me a couple of things. The center for sure. I feel like Powers played better as the year went. Remember, he only started for like 6 games, maybe 7. And he definitely, in my opinion, played better. For me, the one that I would replace tomorrow, if you let me, is Bozeman. It's Bozeman.
Replace Bozeman?
Yeah, I don't like how Bozeman plays at all. He's a good puller. He's a good run blocker. I feel like in pass blocking, he gets beat a lot. And you can say, well, Powers got beat sometimes too. But yeah, Powers is 6 or 7 starters deep, right? Meaning he has started for 6 or 7 times. Bozeman is 3 years in, right? As a starter. He should be playing more polished than what he does. I think he plays really good in the run scheme that we have. Don't get me wrong. But when we go straight passing, I think Bozeman is not great. So I would prefer a left guard edge. The problem is we have a bunch of guards, right? Maybe the solution of the guards are in-house, right? The center, though, I don't believe Macari is. And Macari might be a hell of a guard, but I don't think he is a center. Skura is gone. And TCC played good in the one time that I saw him against the Steelers. But they need to know, because the problem was early in this year when we had both tackles healthy, where was the pressure coming? The middle. Every single time. Skura can block nobody. And back then, Phillips was horrible also on the guard side. And Bozeman wasn't that great either. So the pressure was always coming through the middle. So, yeah, man. And then that's why we started running even more, because we couldn't block anybody in the pass side. But I agree with you. O-line is, like, if you believe in Lamar, O-line is the first. Before receivers, O-line. Fix your O-line. It might be in-house, but you need to fix it.
Yeah, but like, I respect your decision on the whole Bozeman part, but Bozeman has been the most consistent thing. I'm not saying like stat-wise, I get it, but I'd rather just keep Bozeman there until I'll take care of one side before we take the other. It's like, I've never been easily sold on a couple games. Oh yeah, he could be the guy moving forward. If that's the case, man, we should have been smoke checking a lot of people. But I got to see more from Powers before I make a decision. Is this true? He played good a couple of yes, but when we played against like tougher teams, did it show up? Yeah, it did a little bit. So, like, I'd rather just say let's get a center. And I wonder since the poor play of a center, did that maybe affect the guards play? Because that means, you have to slide protection to help out. So it's a lot of things that why could go in it. But man, I want to say this quick, and maybe I can discuss with you another time, man. But all I say, I just want a center. If you and if you want to go for the goal, you find a way to trade up in the top 15 and get you a receiver. Because I'm just gonna say this with Lamar, and me and you was actually I think we were in a tweet together, and we was like, yeah, man, hey. Yeah, the anticipation or just like throwing receivers open, those things, man, he got to take it to the next level. And then if we get him a number receiver, hopefully we do one time in his career, in his young prime career, the excuses are running out. There's no, oh, well, he's only 23, he's only 24. The next thing you know, well, you can't use he's only 25. Like, it's all the excuses that I'm not saying we're trying to come up with excuses, but we're trying to defend them.
We are.
But for us to help him, he needs to help himself. You know what I mean? And I understand we had like one of the worst productive receiving groups, but at the same time, though, people were wide open. I don't know, man. It's so much to unravel this little time that I can talk with you, man. But hey, I'm glad to catch it next time, brother. Love the show. Everybody hit the like and subscribe button, please.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Before you go, man. I think this is why, again, the whole Orlando Brown Jr. situation. If you trade Orlando Brown, now you have to figure out a right tackle, right? But now you have more assets as well. Now you have to go scout right tackles to see if it is there, because Tyree Phillips, I wasn't in love with him. Maybe, he can grow a little bit more because that was his rookie year. So he might be fine in the right tackle position. I'm not in love with Tyree Phillips. I didn't even like the draft pick when we made it. But okay. So let's assume Terry Phillips is quasi the solution, but now with the other assets, now you can trade into the top 15 and get that receiver. Because I don't think, guys, that we're signing any receiver. Oh, at least nobody big time receiver. I will go back to my proposition that I made like 6 months ago, that a guy that might be more suitable, both money wise and fit wise, might be like a guy like AJ Green, that you can bring in situations that he's not gonna break the bank, but you can bring him in certain situations that he's a guy that can still high point the ball, and he can play really good routes, and he can teach your guys as well.
Right.
So, and he's achievable. But I don't know. What do you think about what I said about Orlando Brown and the whole thing?
But Orlando Brown, I'm not touching like this. If I can get somebody, so here's the problem: we're short on a tackle right now. Anyway, like Ronnie Stanley hurt. He's coming. He ain't gonna come back to like late, like real. I would say late in the season, but like if we don't even have a preseason, I'm not gonna be expecting him week 1, week 2. That's just my opinion. I would not be expecting him that early. So I don't understand why we want to trade off the only tackle we have. Like we're like so built in our heads right now from what I see from Twitter. The Twitterverse is, Ronnie Stanley's gonna come back and he's gonna be normal. What if he does not? What if he doesn't come back in week 3? Huh?
That's not gonna. He's gonna take a little bit before he can be normal. I mean, that injury for a left tackle, it's not an easy recovery.
Exactly. And so all we're doing in our heads, like all I'm thinking, like I don't want to think we wouldn't do that. We already have a problem with the O-line. Why will we increase this? Yes, under the draft, draft pick revenue and all that, they capitalize on the contract, as leverage for us in the trade process. But, at the end of the day, we're like taking away what LJ needs. So you can look at it 2 ways. I probably look at it both ways. Like, wait a minute, like we're like decreasing the things we don't have already, and we're unsure of at right tackle and right guard now, and we're unsure at the center. So why would we? I understand. Now we're taking another coin flip. Like, hopefully this turns out. Think about this. This is the same team that went in to the off season, to this season with 4 running backs on the roster, no swing tackle, and only 2 tight ends. So it's one of those things where, like, hopefully this is a learning thing for us. Like, hey, maybe we need to like ensure, certain positions, because we were allowed to have over 8 linemen on the roster, on the active roster, yet we screwed ourselves. We played ourselves.
Yeah. The problem that we have with Orlando Brown is the money wise, right? Because this is the last year of him not getting paid, and the problem that I have with, again, I said this a month ago. I'm not trying to say now. A month ago, I said we need either to trade him or to sign him. And I said he's going to be too expensive to sign unless you're willing to give away a guy maybe like Mark Andrews, or just weaken your defense completely going forward, right? Because Orlando Brown Jr., I knew he was going to command top money. He's 24, 2 Pro Bowls in 3 years in the league, right? Play both right and left. And I said his whole tweet about I'm a left tackle, it's not about, I can't, I don't want to play in the right side. It's more about, I want to be playing as a left tackle, a premier left tackle. If you want to put me wherever, that's okay, as long as I get paid, right? And that's the game. And again, I don't fault him for him wanting to have more money. But the Ravens, if they don't sign him this offseason, the next year they either have to tag him with less cap probably, or just let him go with no really compensation.
Yeah, I got you. So like this, man. I said I'll do it like this. If we want to, if we can somehow be solid, be sure what's going to happen next year with the line. Like I said, we can only speculate, but I just don't see us let him walk, man. Like it's sad to say, Big Baby this might be his last year. From what I'm understanding, when it comes to, we're trying to find a way to save revenue, or maybe you might try to extend them to increase the cap. But I just say I don't think we're gonna let him walk. I think we're not dumb. We need 2 bookends, man. Like if we really want to take care of our quarterback, we find a way to keep the line. Hey,
So you
to be
think we
honest with you,
sign him?
if Mark Andrews, yeah, I hate to say it. I know he's a security blanket for Lamar, but hey, I'd rather have 2 bookend. That's me. I'd rather have 2 bookend tackles.
I agree. I agree with that
with
statement.
a tight end. Because the reason why I say that, man, like he hasn't shown. Who shown more consistency and showed more value? People want to like. I
Orlando,
really say Orlando.
I agree. I agree.
Yeah.
But I will say this too. Let's say, and again, I did say it early in the show. I think EDC is a little bit overrated. This is my opinion. I know I got a lot of flag every time I make statements like this. I think EDC has been good, but not great as a manager. I think the Ravens fan base has EDC in the pedestal. I think it's again. I'm gonna bring 2 videos in the near future about the last 2 drafts, not 2020, but 19 and 18. Saying that, trading managers. I'm like, if you want to say like, let's keep Orlando Brown Jr. trading managers, I'm okay with that shit. So your tight ends are easier to find than tackles, right? But it goes back to the same point. Don't keep Andrews this year. Whoever it is that you want to get rid of, you need that draft capital because next year you're gonna let him walk, right? Mandrews, right? Jalen Hurts gave you a 2nd round pick, right? Remember last year? Andrews said it's either a very early 2nd or a late 1st. And with that pick, you know what you can do? You can go in and get yourself a tight end that is gonna be cheap for 5 years, right?
Yeah.
So if it is that they want to keep Orlando Brown Jr. and trade Andrews, I'm okay with that because I agree. Look, in the AFC North talk, people say that I'm all about line because line is the most critical part on that offense. You can have marginal receivers, and if the O-line protects well, they're going to have a little bit more time, and with more time, receivers tend to make plays, right?
Right.
So for me, the line is the most important part of the offense. But saying that is this is the GM's call. Either he trades Orlando Brown Jr. or he trades other people to make sure he keeps Orlando Brown Jr. But the problem in the fear that I have is he's not gonna do shit, and then he's gonna walk out next year. We'll have him this year. Yay, we have Orlando Brown. But then next year, he out, and we don't have the compensation for him.
Yeah, I completely agree with you, man. It's just the fact that, like, I'd rather, it's gonna. I think we put ourselves in a freaking pickle, and somehow we're gonna lose. We're gonna either or, bro.
Yeah, I mean that happens when you draft well, right? And then let's be honest. Again, I'm trying to build this video of the 2018 draft. 2018 draft was amazing. Right. And then they're all maturing now to get their contracts. So now you're like, shit, there's all these good players, but I need to choose because not only I'm a little bit in the cap strap, but I'm also the cap is taking a dip. So you have both ways, right? So that's my whole thing. You have to figure it out. EDC, the team needs to figure out. You can't keep everybody. I wish they could. This is more of a reason why I don't think we bring Yannick. I think Yannick is gone because if you look the bigger picture, you have all these people that you have to pay next year. Ideally, you pay them this year and you elevate the cap hit this year and then flatten it out for the future years because Lamar is going to command a lot of money. And like I said, 2 weeks ago, we have a Lamar problem, guys. I know you guys don't want to hear it, but Lamar Jackson, as soon as he gets paid, if he gets paid top 5 QB money, the problem is we don't have the money now to mask his deficiencies. And once we cannot mask any deficiencies, is he worth the top 5 money? I don't know. I'm hoping he works on those deficiencies and he can get better. But he needs to show me. Anyway, man, anything else before I let you go?
Nah, man, we'll have to catch it another time, man. But yeah, I think we great conversation. I'll let you another time. But
it's always fun to talk to you, bro. Take care.
All right, you too.
Bye. Okay, one last call here because I have like 2 more minutes. It's gonna be a quick one. It's just getting late over here. AJ.
All right, finally.
Hey, man. Hey, I called you earlier, but for some reason it wasn't straight to voicemail, but it went to voicemail-ish. So anyway, how you doing, man?
Good.
So let's get into it because I don't have a whole lot of time, but tell me, you call, what do you want to talk about? Orlando Brown free agency, what is it?
Well, yeah. Apparently, Orlando Brown was to play left tackle, but the Ravens already have Stanley. So I'm hoping we can keep him for a couple of years. Because he really needs to be if Stanley can't stay healthy, he needs to be our security blanket. So if something does happen, either guy. But I don't trust DJ Fluke or Tyree Phillips to play left tackle next year if something happens to Stanley.
I agree.
Yeah, so
I think both of them are average tackles. DJ Fluke is a better guard. Phillips is, I don't know. I didn't like him in either spot.
Yeah, and honestly, our offensive line's going to look so different next year. It could be insane. Honestly, the only certain are Lonnie Stanley and Bradley Bozeman. Those are the only two certains that I think is going to stay on the offensive line.
Yeah.
Lonnie Stanley at left tackle, Bradley Bozeman at left guard, and probably I think Tristan Castillo, who played center for when McCarry was out with COVID. I think he could honestly be our center next year if we decide not to bring McCarry back.
If they think he's the solution, hopefully they bring him. I think he played well in a game. So the question is, he's solid, but they see him in practice, right? So they will know.
Yeah. So he could end up being center, and I wouldn't be surprised if, as I know Ben Powers is Greg Roman's guy, so he might end up staying at right guard. And then right tackle will probably be Orlando Brown. That could end up being our offensive line unless Brown leaves.
I mean, right now, that's the goal line. We'll see what happens to Orlando Brown, man. I think that is big for the Ravens. I'm checking that every day, especially after this week.
Yeah. I mean, the offensive line, especially the uncertain right side of the offensive line, as well as we need another wide receiver. Basically, those are our two biggest holes, and possibly even an edge rusher.
Well, edge rusher for sure. Even more than wide receiver, I think. And protecting Lamar for me is if they don't think their center's at house, go get a center. Yeah.
It's really our only guys right now are Pernell McPhee, Matthew Judon, and Derek Wolf.
Yeah, Pernell McPhee and Wolf are all three that you said, they're free agents.
Yeah, all three are free agents. So and I think we'll probably bring Derek Wolf back, and we could probably get Wolf back probably on a team-friendly deal, and Pernell McPhee might be cheap. So besides those two, we'll probably get someone else in, because I don't think Judon's sticking around.
Yeah, no, Judon's gone. I think Yannick Ngakoue's gone. Maybe Bowser stays. That's my prediction.
Yeah, I could see Bowser like that Chuck Clark signing last year. They're like a little known guy that signed this contract, and not many people know about him, and they end up breaking out a year later.
Yep. Yeah.
So edge rusher and wide receiver are our two biggest holes, and center are probably number 3.
I'm sorry, you got cut there. What did you say there?
Yeah, edge rusher, center, and wide receiver are our 3 biggest issues.
Yep. I agree.
Yeah, and then really the big things we need to do is give Lamar a new contract, probably give Andrews a new contract, and then see if we can get a wide receiver in free agency. I mean,
I don't think we can
depending
get a
on-
receiver in the free agent unless it's a vet.
yeah. Well, it also depends on the hardball season, like Devin Duvernay. See if Duvernay might be the number 2 guy next year, or if we said bring Dez back.
I think Duvernay will come back and be the slot guy. I think he's the slot guy.
Probably, and then see if Dez might come back and be that big.
Yeah. So right
6'8"
now with the
that's it.
receivers you have, in theory, you have
Hollywood
on the outside,
Brown.
and you have Boykins on the other side, and then you have Duvernay in
Yeah,
the middle,
Dez.
in the slot.
Yeah, Duvernay, and then Dez and Snead are both free agents.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Snead is gone too.
Yeah,
He-
I
he
don't
needs
think
to be back.
it's bringing Snead back unless it's like a cheap 1-year deal.
Yeah, I don't see it. I think if Snead wants to get paid, he doesn't. Even if it's cheap, he signs cheap elsewhere where he might be able to produce. I like Snead, but yeah.
Yeah, I like Snead, but the question is how much is he asking? If he's not asking for much, bring him on like a cheap team-friendly deal.
Yeah. But I don't think
he
even
can
with
end up being the
that,
number 3 guy.
yeah, Snead is not gonna be a big difference maker. So I don't think you bring Snead I don't think Snead is the type of receiver you need to bring back, because in theory Snead plays the slot, and that's where you want Duvernay, maybe Prochet to play, right? So yeah, I don't think Snead is back because they want to give the young guys the opportunity.
Do you think we could go after a tight end?
Yeah, for sure. Tight end is another way to upgrade the offense.
Yeah. Besides extending Andrews, and we are just extending Nick Boyle, we could get a number 3 guy. So if Nick Boyle or Andrews gets injured, we have a guy that we can rely on.
Yeah, no, we definitely need a third tight end. A third tight end
Because
can
we
be a
ended
rookie.
up. Yeah, we need a third tight end because we ended up 32nd in passing because one game we didn't have Lamar Jackson, and then have Lamar Jackson. Had one game where I think Miles Boykin was ranked on the depth chart as the number 1 receiver, and then number 1 on the tight end depth chart was Luke Wilson. That they didn't have. But I just had the Pittsburgh game.
I would like to see if the guy comes back healthy. Breland from Oregon, we had him. He was out for the year. He was an undrafted rookie. He got injured before the draft, so obviously he fell. I like what I saw. I tried to remember I scout. I remember liking him. I was not a fan of Eli Wolf. He was the other tight end that we got. I was not a fan of Eli, but I was on Breland.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see him being our number 2 tight end.
Yep.
We need a number 3 tight end because they're ranked 32nd in passing because we didn't have any tight ends. Ark Andrews is out for 2 weeks, 3 weeks with COVID.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we're out for Pittsburgh, Cleveland, and Dallas. So yeah, 3 weeks.
Yeah. Think about the game against the Steelers. Wilson drops a touchdown.
Yep. And then we had Nick Boyle out with the torn ACL for the second half of the season. So we had to rely on Eric Tomlinson and Luke Wilson as our top 2 tight ends that week.
And that is a sad proposition.
Yeah. So yeah, we need a number 3 tight end. Because once again, if both guys go out, we don't have anyone.
I agree. Anything else, man?
No, other than our biggest need this offseason is gotta extend Lamar, gotta extend Andrews, probably extend Orlando Brown if we can convince him to stay at right tackle. and then see if we can go after a wide receiver or a lineman in free agency.
Yes, sir. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Obviously, I'll be here covering everything and reacting about all these. So appreciate it. Appreciate your call.
I think we're at the second most cap space behind Cincinnati in the division.
Yeah, but it's not much right now. The cap situation is tight. The Steelers obviously don't have any money, and then Cleveland is pretty tight as well. Anyway.
Yeah, Cleveland's pretty tight. So if they want to save cap for Baker Mayfield and Nick Chubb.
They're both coming up. Coming up. Anyway, bro, I'll let you go. Thank you for calling.
All right, see ya.
Okay, guys. Thank you, everybody that was here. I know a couple of you wanted to call, and I was, it's just got late. This stream is about to almost an hour and a half, but I appreciate it. Go be checking my next video coming out this week. It's going to be regrading the 2018 draft. One of the great, even if you take Lamar out, one of the best drafts that we had in a while. And then the 2019 draft, and then you're going to see why I think EDC is a little bit overrated. Anyway, thank you for joining the live stream. Make sure you like, subscribe to this channel. Also check my social media, YouTube, Twitter, IG, Facebook. Go follow me. You can DM me when you want me about prospects, and then I can go find the tape and just watch that. Thank you for everybody that was here in the draft on the live chat. Thank you for everybody that's putting comment. Living Legend, Terrence Briscoe, Electric Tyrone, Evan, Conrad, Big Reg, Hefek AC, Tough Puppy, Andrew Sakara, and all of you guys. The ones that I didn't mention, I appreciate it. Thank you for everybody, and I will see you